It's 21 minutes after 8, and we only have about 9 minutes left. So we want to stop here, inshallah. And if there's anyone that has any questions, we'll take some questions, inshallah, relative to the subject of Salafiyya in America. And once again, as we mentioned last night, remember, we don't have the ability to take someone off the manhaj. They take themselves off the manhaj. When this man right here, for those who have good eyesight in the back, this man right here who ascribed to Salafiyya, what's his name? Yasir Qadhi. I remember Yasir Qadhi when he was a kid. I remember him when he was a kid. Hafiz of Quran, fluent in 3 languages, ascribing to and calling to Salafiyya. Look at him now. Look at his associates. This is his Twitter page. He's following 10 people. He has 7,000 on this particular day, the screenshot, 7,586 followers. But he's following 10 people. Look at who he's following. First person is who? Salman al-Awda. Salman al-Awda. Who's the second person? Sheikh bin Bayya. Bin Bayya, they're in Mecca. Anybody know about him? He's the Sheikh of Hamza Yusuf. This is who Yasir Qadhi is following. Muhammad Sharif. Anybody know about him? Who? Maghrib Institute. Maghrib Institute. Tariq Ramadan. Anybody know who Tariq Ramadan is? Huh? Huh? Sweden, Switzerland. But do you know who he is? Do you know who his father was? But his father was who? Saeed Ramadan. Saeed Ramadan, who was married to who? Wafa al-Banna, who was who? The eldest daughter of Hassan al-Banna, the founder of the Ikhwan al-Muslimin. This is who Yasir Qadhi is following. And brothers have the nerve to ask, can we read his books? Brothers have the nerve to ask, can we read his book? His books. As some brothers said this morning, but some of the brothers are saying, no, you know, we're going to read the books that, you know, he wrote before he went away. How are you sure you know what his deviations are, and you sure you can point them out in the book? Do you think that you're able to go through the book and determine it? Wallahi, brothers, when Abu Hassan al-Ma'rabi wrote that book, Sahih al-Manhaj, when he wrote that book, Sahih al-Manhaj, myself and Abdul Mutakabbir, Abu Abbad, we know our brother, right, in Egypt, used to be the Imam in Wilkes-Barre, and even Abu Awais, the 3 of us, we used to praise that book. Abu Muslima was with us. We used to praise that book back in the days. And we, myself and Abdul Mutakabbir, even started teaching from the book. Subhanallah, brothers. When Sheikh Rabi' Habibullah did a refutation on him, and he's done many, we know that. When he did a refutation on Abu Hassan al-Ma'rabi, and he did a refutation specifically on that book, Sheikh Rabi' did 3.5 pages refuting the cover title of the book before he even got into the book. And when we were reading it, we were like praising it and getting, using it in classes. We didn't see anything. The Sheikh took 3 pages of his refutation just on the name of the book, refuting that. So if you think you're safe, if you think that you're strong enough, then go ahead. You can read those books if you want. But buyer beware. Because the people of the past, they were very conscious, as our brother Abu Muhammad translating from Sheikh Falah, Ismail, Hafidhahumullah, they were very, very conscious of whom they took their knowledge from. And when they saw something wrong, in many cases, they disparaged that person. They made a jarh. And in conclusion, we like to say that some of these people are coming with these false principles. These principles that you have to be patient with a person before you disparage him. That you have to be patient. You show me somewhere from the principles of the manhaj of the salaf that it's obligatory to be patient from somebody and you can't disparage him right on the spot with the first mistake. You show me. Show me any of the ulama that says it's wajib to be patient with a person. We're not saying you shouldn't be patient or you can be patient like Sheikh Rabi'a was with Ma'arabi, like Sheikh Rabi'a was with one of my teachers, and I'm saying it because I had many teachers, those of them that ascribe to Salafiyya and those of them that never ascribe to Salafiyya. One of them that ascribed to Salafiyya is Mustafa Al-Adawi, Al-Misri, from Al-Mansura. I used to sit with him. And I remember one night, we were in the Haram, Mecca, during Ramadan. He said, Dawood, come on, he didn't say Dawood, he said Abu Tasneem. He always called me Abu Tasneem. He said, Abu Tasneem, let's go to Sheikh Rabi'a's house. Let's go to Sheikh Rabi'a's house. So, okay, we got in the cab, went to Sheikh Rabi'a's house. Listen, look what Sheikh Rabi'a did, knowing that Mustafa Al-Adawi had problems. I didn't know he had problems, but the Sheikh knew he had problems. So when we walk in, if anybody's ever been to Sheikh Rabi'a's house, in his sitting room with his library, you know how it's situated. If right now this is the left side, if I'm facing the Sheikh in his couch, in his sofa, his library is like this, going all the way around. And this is the door that you come in. Right? So we came in, the Sheikh was sitting there in front of everybody. People from all over the world. Algeria, Iraq, all over the world. He's answering questions, etc. So myself and Mustafa Al-Adawi come in. This is even though it happened in Saudi Arabia, this is a part of the history of Salafi in America. We come in, he's sitting down, I'm sitting to his right, he's sitting to my left. So somebody leans to Sheikh Rabi'a and says, Sheikh Mustafa Al-Adawi is here. And subhanAllah, brothers, I have to say it. Mustafa Al-Adawi's books are books that are valuable. His books of hadith and his books on fiqh and issues like that, the man has ilm. This man has ilm. He was one of the students of Sheikh Muqbil, and Sheikh Muqbil praised him. So somebody leaned to Sheikh Rabi'a that night. It's around 12:30 in the morning. Taraweeh had finished. They leaned to him and said, Sheikh Mustafa said, Sheikh Rabi'a told him to move over, and he started moving with his hand on the couch and started wiping, this is the way the Sheikh would do it. He started wiping the couch, come and sit down. And Mustafa Al-Adawi said, with, humbleness. No, just go ahead. So the Sheikh kept talking. Then the brother leaned over and said, the Sheikh is here. So he did it again. And then Mustafa Al-Adawi went up. And he sat next to him. And he sat to the Sheikh's right. And a question of hadith came up. And Sheikh Rabi'a transferred or referred that question to Mustafa Al-Adawi. Knowing him. Then he went and had a private sitting with the Sheikh. And I was talking to some brothers from Holland. And then when we finished, Mustafa Al-Adawi said to me, Abu Tasneem, let's go. And I was catch the cab. And I was still talking. I let him go. He went back to the Haram. After it was over, I told some of the brothers, one of them was Musa Richardson, Abu Abbas. And the other one was Tahir Wyatt. I said, we're going to have to go to Sheikh Rabi'a and talk to him again because the Americans that are sitting here, it's going to be a problem. Because once they see how the Sheikh treated him, they're going to say he's all right. That's what they're going to say. Because the common people, when they see or hear things, they think things are okay from what they see and what they hear. Because today, amongst the Salafis who are not studying principles of the manhaj of the Salaf, truth has become perception. Truth has become perception. So we went back to the Sheikh the next day and we said to the Sheikh, Sheikh, we saw you talking to Mustafa Al-Adawi, Sheikh Mustafa Al-Adawi, and we think it's going to be some problems. We didn't ask him what he was talking about. That wasn't our business. He said, be patient with him. We know that he has problems with regards to his manhaj, but let's be patient with him. And this is the way the Sheikh is. But don't think, brothers, that it's absolutely obligatory to be patient all the time, because we have an abundance of proofs. In conclusion, inshallah, and I said that about 10 minutes ago. In conclusion, inshallah, we have an abundance of proofs from stories and athar. In fact, the book that Abu Hassan Malik, Hafidhahullah, wa sallamahullah min kulli su'a makruh, that he was reading from, the Muqaddamah of Sahih Muslim. When you read the introduction to Sahih Muslim by Imam An-Nawawi, by Imam Muslim, when you read it, you see athar after athar after athar from the athar on people not being patient. Patient meaning disparaging a person right on the spot. Like Abdullah ibn Mubarak. Abdullah ibn Mubarak. He said, if I had the choice, لو خيرت بين أن أدخل الجنة وبين ألقى عبد الله بن محرر لأخرت أن أدخل الجنة لأخرت أن ألقاه ثم أدخل الجنة. We have a statement from Abdullah ibn Mubarak where he said about this man named Abdullah ibn Muharrar, if I was given the choice to meet Abdullah ibn Muharrar before I enter paradise, I would choose to meet him before I enter paradise, then enter paradise. He said, فَلَمَّا رَأَيْتُهُ كانت بعرة أحب إلي منه. He said, but after I met him, the camel's dung was more beloved to me than him. And what's the evidence from that athar in Sahih Muslim, the Muqaddamah? There's a lot of benefit, but one of the proofs, one of the benefits from that is that he had one meeting with him, because he had a great passion to meet him with regards to hadith, but found out that he had da'af, that he had weaknesses. And it's muttafiq from the ulama about his agreed upon about his weakness. But he didn't find that out until he met him. So he had the strong desire to meet him because he heard about him and heard about him and heard about him. He said, one time, brothers, not 5 years went by, not 7 years went by, just because he has a master's or a PhD. One time he met him. He said, كانت بعرة أحب إلي منه. The camel dung was more beloved to me than him. Brothers, learn these principles, brothers. Learn the principles of the Salaf, the manhaj of the Salaf. Because once again, in order for us to appreciate the history of Salafiyya in America, we have to understand the present time of Salafiyya in America, and we ask Allah to keep our hearts firm on His deen and His obedience and the pure sunnah and the manhaj of the Salaf, and hold on to those ulama and keep embracing those ulama of Ahl Sunnah today, and never ever ask for a khula from those ulama, because they'll never divorce us. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم.